Hey, check it out. We're going to do 12.4 part 2, which is religious refuge in Utah. As you can see, I got a nice little outline here for you. You're going to have to write this down in your notes. But first, we're going to do a bad joke of the day. It has to do with our last section, part 1, and gold mining. So think about California on this. Pause the video, give it a thought, and give it a shot. If you get it, awesome. If not, just have fun with it. So here's the question. It's in red here. Where does a gold miner get his supplies? And a hint is it's a city. Part of the name is a city in California. Pause the video. All right, we're back. So the answer to this puppy is, where does a gold miner get his supplies? It is Pan, P-A-N, Francisco. Pan Francisco, there you go. Hopefully you got it. Hopefully you enjoyed it. So I see you later to that. All right, back to business now. 12.4, religious refuge in Utah. We know that the state of Utah looks kind of like a square. It is to the west of Colorado, and it is definitely west of the Mississippi River. What happened in the 1830s is a man named, oh boy, Mr. Ash isn't ready. A man named Joseph Smith founds the Church of Latter-day Saints, also known as the Mormons. You may know some Mormon people. I know a couple who live in Wisconsin, but a lot of them live in Utah, and we'll talk about why they moved to Utah in a second. But what you need to know, number one, is in 1830, Joseph Smith, this man right here, he founds the Church of Latter-day Saints, or the Mormons, and here's why. Goodbye. Scroll up a little bit. Joseph Smith wanted to build an ideal society. He believed that all people should be part of common property. So instead of one single owner, it would be everybody together, working together as one. And believe it or not, another piece to that puzzle was polygamy. Now, if you're unfamiliar with what polygamy means, poly means more than one, so plus one or two, three, whatever. And gami is, I have no idea, like marriages probably. So it's many wives. I think gami actually is wives. So it means many wives. He believed that you could have more than one wife. Yes, fellas, that was true. It's kind of a fading thing, but some people in Utah still have more than one wife. So, ladies, if you don't mind that kind of a thing, move to Utah. You might be able to find it, something like that. But, our preference in society is to kind of go away from that and to find one soulmate. Okay? So that's why Joseph Smith founded the Mormon Society in 1830. Okay, this was not an easy task for him. Where he originally founded it was New York City, or actually the state of New York. I have no idea what city it was. But anyways, he was persecuted due to those crazy beliefs. Like owning common property is not a common thing, and having more than one wife, also not a common thing. So he had to move first to Ohio, then to Missouri, and then he moved up to Illinois for better freedom. Keep in mind that these are places in the north where they tend to be a little bit more acceptable to religious freedoms. So that was to his benefit, but yet he still had to move. I guess it's that way for you guys west. He was later killed in Illinois, unfortunately, and this man right here, Brigham Young, enters the picture. He takes over, and he moves to the whole congregation. It's about 12,000 people, to the Great Salt Lake in Utah. So if we scroll up here, we've got the Great Salt Lake, which is right there. All right, things to note about this was that it was very harsh terrain. If you can see in my picture here, yep, that's a pretty good idea of what Utah looks like. Very desert-like, very harsh. Heck, not even a lot of Native Americans live there. So it was a perfect place to kind of be by themselves and practice their beliefs of polygamy and common property. They would run into some issues later on when they would want to become a state, and they actually wouldn't become a state until 1896 when the Transcontinental Railroad met from East Coast to West Coast in Promontory, Utah, but that's another story. So the harsh terrain caused a lot of issues for them, And one of the things that they had to do was learn how to become expert irrigators, like building canals, saving every last drop of water, all those kinds of nifty little tricks. And they became self-sufficient in doing so. They created their own industries. And here we go, connection to the gold miners. As they traveled on that Oregon Trail, they stopped in Utah and bought supplies from these Mormons. So that led to their success. And today, they are very famous for the University of BYU, Brigham Young University today. And it's primarily a Mormon school that they can go there and be with people with their like mindsets and beliefs. So there you have it. There is religious refuge in Utah. Hopefully, once again, you have all of these notes, these 5 points, down in your notebooks behind your last chapter 12 entry. Peace out.